I had just spent a week up the road from New York City visiting family in a little town called Sleepy Hollow. A perfect spooky place for a crow to hang out, right? I wanted to make sure I was back in town by the end of the week because Rachel, the head of the audience support team, agreed to hold a meeting with me and Olivia the Owl, two of the original mascot competitors, to talk about possibly starting up the education department mascot competition again. I tried to meet with a few staff members, especially Mrs. Drake, but she was busy all morning. Ugh. I got back in town on Thursday, 4 June, with plenty of time to get ready for the meeting at 1 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. I arrived in the early afternoon of 6 June, sometime between 12 o'clock p.m. and 1 o'clock p.m., I think. I saw that a few others in the ed department were doing something from the sign-in sheet when I arrived, but I didn't have enough time before our meeting with Rachel at 1 o'clock p.m. I didn't have time to go downstairs and check in with them and say hi. The meeting with Rachel and Olivia was great. I spent most of the time talking, while Rachel and Olivia listened. Olivia didn't know too much beyond what I told her before in an email, so she stayed pretty quiet. I'm not sure why she was quiet. Maybe she had something on her mind. She did keep excusing herself to go to the bathroom, though. I don't know. Just something that I noticed. I stayed in the meeting the entire time and did not leave. I left the meeting at 2 o'clock p.m. and signed out shortly after. Then I went back to my cozy tree near the pawn shop down the street. It's been pretty quiet since then. I can't believe this has happened. After all we've been through, somebody stole the last remaining piece of Pierre that we have. I just wish we could have justice and keep the memory of him alive by restarting this mascot competition again. You mentioned you were in New York last week. What exactly were you doing there, and how long were you there? Like I said before, I went up to the area to visit some family. I flew in on the 1st and got back to Virginia on the 4th. I was born in Philadelphia, but one of my family members that I am close to currently lives there. What family member did you visit? A cousin. There's no need to name names, right? They'd like to remain anonymous if that's okay. I wanted to see him because he likes to keep distant from the rest of the world. Doesn't have a phone and only talks about twice a week. He likes to remain off the grid, as you'd say. That's why it was important to see him while he was available. Did you visit with this family member the entire time? Not the whole time. I spent my time with him on Monday afternoon, which was great. We talked a lot. I spent the rest of the time being a tourist. Did you know that the author of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is buried there? Pretty cool. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your arrival on the early afternoon of 6 June. Let's run through those events again. I arrived sometime between 12 o'clock p.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. I signed on the staff and guest sign-in sheet so you can look and see exactly when I arrived. I checked in and went immediately upstairs to the meeting with Rachel and Olivia. It lasted about an hour, and I left after I said hello to the folks downstairs with the distance learning team. By the time I got down there at 2 o'clock p.m., they were all standing in the children's gallery looking at the missing statue. That's an expensive artifact that will be difficult to replace, right? I wonder if Freddy the Fox or Barry the Bunny will want to know about the mascot initiative. I left around 2:15 p.m. Check the logs. Is there going to be a mascot competition? Well, not until the dust settles, I guess. I was just trying to spend some time and open up the conversation again. Hold on. How did you know about Barry the Bunny and Freddy the Fox? Rachel mentioned them to me during the meeting. I had to see for myself. Who do you think the perpetrator of the crime is? I don't know. I mentioned that Olivia was awfully quiet during the meeting. I'm not sure what she would stand to gain, besides a hefty price tag for some authentic Pierre the Pigeon merchandise. I never held any ill will towards Pierre. He was a good friend throughout the mascot competition last year. I can't believe this has happened. I just want things to go back to normal once you guys catch whoever is responsible. Justice must be served at all costs.